So I have to wake up early enough to let my dog out, take a shower, do all that.
That's wild. Couldn't be me.
All right. Switch that. Welcome to The Right Vibes, Tales from the Tuleburg Press on K.W.D.C. 93.5 Stockton, brought to you by the Fierce Mustang Media Group. I'm your host, BonesInTheBooth, and I'm thrilled to bring you another episode from this special series showcasing some talented artists who have collaborated and worked with Tuleburg Press right here in Stockton, California. In this series, we'll dive into the creative minds of artists, writers, authors, poets, rappers, educators, and much more, exploring their journeys, inspirations, and the impact of their work. Whether you're a literature lover or a fan of lyrical genius, there's something here for everyone. Join me as we celebrate these voices and the stories they have to tell. Tune in and get inspired by the artistic brilliance that makes this community vibrant and diverse. Let's vibe. And this morning, we have Jonathan Lopez. How you doing, man?
Good. You have a podcaster voice. You have like a audiobook voice.
Oh, thank you. I've heard I had the face for radio. And so do you want to go ahead and tell us, let our listeners know what it is that you do? What are your creative outlets and whatnot?
Sure. Do you want to know like what I do for work, or do you want to do just like what I do for
All of it. Tell us
all of it? All right. Well, I'm a 30-something, and I'm a youth coordinator for the San Joaquin Pride Center. So I work with LGBT plus communities. I am also a semi-professional drag queen, and I work all over the Central Valley. And then I also help to run a dance studio called Pace Dance Company up north in Stockton. And I am now a newly published author / poet. And I'm trying out that new adventure now.
And how's that going? It sounds like you're a little nervous, a little intimidated.
Honestly, it's more the backstory that I was nervous about, and more than the actual stuff, because what I actually got published through Tuleburg, it was through the contest, the Chaplet book series. And I just threw it out there because a friend of mine, Tamara Brisbane, she was like, John, you've got some great like work, like, cause I'm a spoken word artist. And she was like, you definitely need to put this out there somewhere. Like, you need to put your art out. And she knows that I do drag well. She knows that I do like community work well. And she was like, people deserve to hear this. And I was like, I don't know if, it's great when you hear from like your mentors and your elders, like, you do a great job. But sometimes you don't believe it yourself, especially when you've never thrown yourself into the game. So,
oh yeah,
I just did it on a whim because I had some time, and it was just it was a collection of work that I had from a long time ago. I didn't expect for it to be anything. And then they said, we picked you.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's kind of helped be the catalyst for what I really, really want to do. Yeah.
Which is exactly.
So this was a collection of poetry that I've had since I was like 16, all the way up to like my maybe mid 20s. Very few like newer works, but so it was a collection. So it was easy to kind of put together. All I had to do was create like a flow of story.
Yeah, and get it in the right.
Yeah, and then send it in. But I'm really trying to get into fiction writing. So I've been making the rounds now, going around meeting like local authors, going to bookstores where they have like local author signings, people who do like workshops, and just kind of getting into their brains about how to kind of get this going so that as I age, I can continue to expand on my writing abilities, but also be able to like say, yeah, I'm going to put out like a book from my brain. This is all thoughts, emotions and stuff like that, but it's a collection that I already had.
It's kind of wild to think about. I mean, like, there's all these different books and stuff, you get knowledge from books, but then it's like you really think about it. It's like, this is all just from someone else's brain. Like, this is all just something that someone else thought of.
Yeah. And when I did the collection, like, it's from a perspective of like like I said, a 16-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and all the dramaticness that comes from being that young and feeling like the world's going to end because relationships fall apart.
Oh, yeah.
Friendships.
So angsty back in the day.
Yeah, but I'm not that way now. Like the writing's changed, but my voice has always kind of been the same. It's just a little bit more fleshed out now. Now I feel like I have a little bit more intellect, more grounding, and being able to write a fiction book.
Yeah, you matured over the years. I mean, back in those days, you just like that one girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, and like couldn't think of anything past that. The world was over. You know, you're like, I'm not going to see 17. Like my life is over. You know, here we are in our 30s, you know, like it moves on.
You could tell too, like the words and phrases and just like the ideas that we have at that young of an age. And I look back at a lot of it because I had to go through like 300 poems of my own just to be like, what's good? And then when I found the ones that I wanted, I was like, wow, just even the words I use are so drastically different. The prose is completely more mature. I don't feel like I have to use $13 words anymore just to kind of get my point across, which is kind of funny because you think that with adults, you'd want them to use more technical words and jargon. But as adults, I find that it's easier if a person just gives it to me like straight, just like use simple words.
Level with me.
Yeah.
And so how was it that you got started into writing? Like what was the journey up into deciding, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to write poems. I want to be a writer. And the same question for drag and all your other outlets and whatnot.
Drag's probably easier. I tell people all the time that when they say like, how'd you get started into it? What's going on? And I was like, well, you know what, to be honest with you, I went to a high school where they actually didn't cast the gay kids in theater as in the male lead roles. So I always just joke that like, I didn't get enough roles in high school. So now I get all the roles that I want as a drag performer. But I used to be the DJ for a local drag show. And when I would DJ, I would watch our local drag performers on the stage and I would look at them and I'd be like, I could do that. Like I could do that. Like they suck at, I don't know if I can cut.
No, you're fine.
Like they suck. Like I could do that better because I have a dance background. And so one day we decided to put on like an amateur contest. And I was like, oh, you know what? As a joke, the DJ should do it. And so I did it. And out of 3 contestants, I came in 3rd, which is funny because I'm the host. So I could have just rigged it. but I didn't. And I deservedly, looking back, deserved 3rd place. But from there, I just kind of got the knack for it. It was fun. It was a sense of community, a friendship group that I really didn't like anticipate in my life, especially in my mid-20s. Nobody wants to like tell themselves like, yeah, I'm gonna dress up as a woman part-time in their late 20s. But I found it and then I just got better and better and better. People started noticing me more. And then from there, it just like kicked off and I've been doing it for 10 years now, nonstop because I do drag at least like 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All here in Stockton?
No, all over actually.
They have some shows go on down in Modesto.
They do at Splash and at
Lo-Fi. Well, there's this cocktail lounge. They do a lot of stuff with like different artists in the community. Like tonight, there's like a group we're in called Cameras and Cocktails, and so a bunch of local artists get to come put up a few of their like I got 6 that I'm going to put up later up on the wall. So there's usually like up to like 30 different artists that have a collective of photos they get to show, drink some cocktails, network, mingle. And I know on other days they do have drag shows, and other days they have poetry nights and whatnot.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Lo-fi?
Yeah, Lo-Fi cocktails. That. I'll have to send you the info.
Yeah, no, totally. I got my stomping grounds in Modesto because back then they were the only place where like people were like, oh, you got booked in Modesto? Oh, that's the goal. Back when, I don't know if you know, they had that bar called Climax.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that used to be like the place for drag performers to get like a lot of
recognition.
Yeah. And if you got booked there, then you made it, like for local standards. But nowadays they have the Brave Bull And then they have Splash, and I know
which used to be what was it before? Minis?
Yeah, Minis.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Glad they put some money into that place.
It's a nice spot.
No, it is. They have a lot of great talent down there.
Yeah, it's a nice patio area.
Yeah, especially because they started doing like brunches and stuff like that. It's really nice to go out there. I don't go there anymore just because I've built more by reputation like in the latter half of my career in Sacramento. So
it's a bigger city.
It's a bigger city, but I also, as I grew in that career, I was afforded more hosting opportunities. So now I produce like 4 shows.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it just takes up more of my time. But yeah, drag has afforded me so many opportunities. I got to go to Hawaii for a week.
Oh, that's great.
They paid for it, all expenses.
Oh, that's awesome. I had a big ticket when I went with my girlfriend to Hawaii like 2 years ago. That's not a cheap trip.
No, it's not.
So to get it all expensive paid, that's awesome.
And I didn't even know until I came back.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, cool. Maybe like a $300 ticket. Like, yeah, it wasn't that at all. But that was really nice. I got to go to Denver, Colorado, represent Stockton for the All-American City competition, and we won back in 2017.
Sweet.
But I went in drag as like a drag host, which like blew everybody's mind because
is it always the same? Are you always like the same character, or do you switch it up?
No, I'm.
Is that a thing, dude? I'm not as familiar with drag.
You should.
So I know, but I don't know if people are always the same like identity, or if like one day you want to be this character or another character or whatever.
There's people that do have multiple personalities, but for the most part, you stick with a persona. That's your brand. Like Bones in the Booth.
Okay.
Like that's your brand.
And
then you can do impersonations if you want to collect money. So like, let's say somebody wants you to be like a podcaster, but then they hire you to be a DJ. Then they hire you to be a photographer. You're the same person. You're just doing different aspects of media. So with us, like for instance, I'm always Helen Hills. Yeah, that's my persona. And then sometimes people will be like, you know what? I have a wedding. I need a Jennifer Lopez impersonator.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be like, okay, great. Pay me to be Jennifer Lopez then. Gotcha. So my rates change based on who they want, because then they get to customize like what they want from you. Similar to media fields, right? Yeah. So she's afforded me a lot. She's a great tax break. She's great on taxes. And she allows me to do stuff like this. Like I can pull away from stressing about money because she makes a lot of money on the side for me. She's like my funny money. My real job is
a little bit of financial stability, ease your mind a bit.
Well, yeah, because my job pays for, I say my job pays for all my bills. Like I have a full-time job and that pays all my bills, car, insurance, groceries, rent, etc. But Helen allows me to go on that vacation, go spend some money on some extra clothes, and then merchandising, like all of the money that I make from her, I put right back into anything I put out. So I'm not digging into a credit card. I'm not digging into like
smart.
Yeah. So
it's responsible. I kind of do the same. Like this is a paid internship that I do here for the digital media department and Fierce Mustang Media. But I have my, job. I bartend at P. Wexford's Pub in Modesto. And so that's like, it pays all my bills and stuff. And then I have this money that comes in. So I'm like, I can get a new camera. I can get this, just put it back into the craft, and just keep it building up.
I mean, you get what you put out. So people, unfortunately, that don't know how to balance putting their side money back into the thing that's going to make them more money in the long run, or at least stability wise. They just kind of like spend it because it's like, let me just waste it away on whatever. They don't understand that like nobody else is providing for that extra thing you do. Like, and once you have to be the sole responsible person for that, you're going to find that your quality is less because you didn't invest in it. So I've always been business savvy, and drag helped me to become sort of like a self entrepreneur, if you will. Yeah. Like I'm able to do so much with her.
And so switching over into the writing aspect, tell us how you got into wanting to write your poetry and everything?
Yeah. So the book is called Beautiful Illusions, and it's a collection of poetry from the ages of like 16 to 22. And basically, as a
so like tell us what led you up to at 16 wanting to write, like before the book, like what got you into wanting to write?
I was figuring out like coming out. I was figuring that part out in my brain. And I was like, I think I like dudes, but like, that's weird. Like, who likes dudes? Like, maybe I want to be like them, or maybe I want to be with them. Like, I couldn't figure it out for myself. And at the time, I couldn't vocalize that, because the crazy thing about coming out is that you can't tell anybody unless you're ready to, and unless you feel safe. And plus, with all the stigma that comes around with coming out, it's either you say it or you don't say it. And if you don't say it, where do you put it? So for me, a lot of my friends who were identifying as like bisexual or gay were like, oh, I just write. And I'm like, what do you mean you just write? Like, don't you want to like say it? And they're like, you don't always have to just like say it. If you need to get it out, put it down on paper. And so I would read some of their stuff and I'm like, well, this is good. And I've always been a fan of like type of short stories, novellas, Aesop's fables, and stuff like that. All things that were in short form. So I was like, okay, poetry. I became a fan of Maya Angelou and Robert Frost. So I was like, okay, there's something here that I'm attracted to, and it's giving me an outlet for being able to like come out but not talk about it.
Yeah.
So I just started jotting down my thoughts, putting it in cadence, creating rhyme and rhythm. And there was a show on HBO back in the early 2000s called Russell Simmons' Deaf Poetry. It was on HBO. It only showed at 11 p.m. at night. Okay. And little 14-year-old me used to get out of bed at 11 when I was supposed to be asleep and go sit in front of the TV, like as close as this microphone is. Yeah. Sit next to the TV at like 1 or 2.
Yeah. Try not to wake anybody up.
Try not to wake anybody, and just like listen to the poetry that they would have. And they'd have different artists, rappers, like very like well-known poets in like the New York scene. And it was just like amazing just to hear them. And so like deaf poetry and spoken word really became like something I was attracted to. So I started writing like that. And I started doing a lot of freestyle writing, and it eventually became like my voice, if you will, with poetry. So at that age, you can only really write about I was only writing about the coming out process, and I was writing about like love and loss and stuff like that. And then I had a couple of experiences, like bad experiences with the coming out process with like my mom and my stepdad. So I started writing more, because as anger and frustration and all that kind of stuff builds up,
it's got to go somewhere.
It's got to go somewhere, and a lot more like words and story come out. So I started writing a lot about that, and then eventually moving past like high school, and I was kicked out and stuff like that. So the writing became even more, got into long-term relationships and got cheated on. I was in an abusive relationship. So then I was also writing about like pain and about like betrayal. So like just everything started getting more and more. Eventually I had like, say like 8 or 9 composition books just filled from top to bottom. And I was like making sure to like continue to go back and be like, you're not writing the same shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of it was like self, and a lot of it was also just me being like, let's write about somebody else. This is getting a little tiring.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to explore different, different routes, different, ideals.
It also became like very painful, like to go back and be like, geez, John, you kind of had it hard for a while.
Yeah.
Let's put it down. I think there is something to
it's growth.
Yeah. It's okay to like put the pin down too. Because eventually what ended up happening is that I got married young, and then my ex did not like me writing about him when I was
upset
mad or frustrated. Yeah. So he was like, nobody's going to read your and he's like, nobody's going to read it.
It's not supportive.
It's not supportive. And it hurts my feelings. And to be honest with you, I've read some of your stuff. It's remedial at best. So he's like, you should just put it away. So I stopped writing because
that's
of that.
terrible.
I know. But when you're in love and you're like, I have to hold on to this.
Yeah,
I have to let go of this.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't realize that young that they can have both, or that they don't have to make that decision like that.
Yeah. Or the value of, like if someone really, cared that would be important to them too, because it's important to you.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was young and naive and in love.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Dang.
I'm 36, if putting that out there.
I'm 37.
Okay. So we come from around, the same era.
Same age, yeah. Today's the 5th?
Yeah.
Today's the 5th. I am 1 month away from being 38.
Oh, nice. January 5th?
Yep. Capricorns.
And my older brother's January 13th, and my younger brother's January 29th.
Oh, dang. You got a lot of presents to buy.
Yeah, definitely. And so I guess you kind of already brushed up on it. You kind of touch on different pain and John
experiences.
Yeah. I was like, what is that word? What other, what kind of themes do you explore in your writing? Well, because you said, it's a lot, a lot of love and experiences, pain, a lot of, pretty much.
In my note to the readers, I use a single word that has become like my favorite word. And I think everybody should have like a favorite word that they can use at any given point. With if someone says like, describe yourself, you can use that word. If somebody says like, throw out something creative, they use that word. Like
party.
Which is a famous drag word, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is. So
there's a point where I just like to respond to that, or respond to anything with that. Like, you got to go to work, party.
I'm going to send you a clip of like literally a compilation of people who on Drag Race use that phrase.
Party.
Yeah, just party. But the word's an Italian word. I'm not Italian, but I love the word. It's attraversiamo.
Okay.
And it means like to cross over. And when I want people to read my book, I want them to know that like the theme doesn't necessarily have to be like love, like whatever it is you need to get over the hump, like whatever it is you need to get over,
to get to cross that threshold of whatever it is.
Right. And I think that that's a lot of the other stuff that I write about is about like finding, there's a poem called Inner Peace. So it's like, you don't need to pay somebody to tell you how to be peaceful. Like you've got that in you. You just have to like get to it. And if you find it hard to get to, set yourself up. Like you have the opportunity, and there's so much out there that you can do creatively to get yourself to a peaceful point. I have themes in here about just like, there's a poem called Losing Isn't Hard to Master. I'm a realist. So when people are like, ugh, I lost. It's like, well, yeah, people do that.
And it happens.
It does happen. And you're not the first. You probably aren't going to be the last, but you don't have to let your entire day or month or year be.
You can't let that loss consume you.
Yeah. Because people will just be like, oh, I didn't get it, or I lost, or that sucked, or we broke up, or whatever. And it's like, yeah, well, losing isn't hard. Like everybody does it. But being happy, that's also easy. Like you can also do that. So some of my other themes are just about like being real with yourself and knowing that the world's not going to just like swallow you up and spit you out. It's not you. The world does not have a vendetta against you. Like you have the opportunities to be,
probably, what we believed 10, 20 years ago.
Right. Well, everybody told you that. Yeah. Everybody told you if you fail, that's it. Like you might as well just go and resign to living off of welfare, living on the streets. And as a person like myself who grew up like in poverty, like I grew up super poor, and people were like, well, that's the path. You're going to continue your parents and your grandparents' line of stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't sound like my journey. Yeah. That sounds like a journey.
That's not
my journey.
Yeah. And so, how has being published through Tuleburg and influenced your creative career or your creative process?
It was the kick that I really needed. I, as a 30-something, again, with a box, I'm talking about like a box full of poetry, did not look at it, didn't touch it. It traveled with me from apartment to apartment to apartment to house, didn't take a second glance at it. Wrote maybe once or twice a year at most. And again, only in like the hardest of times. The only 2 brand new poems that are in here, I'm lying, there's 3. But the two of the newest ones are when my Nina passed away and I didn't know where to put that pain. And then when I had a breakup due to my partner having an addiction issue, which I had never dealt with in my life.
Oh, that's rough.
It is. Because you don't experience it. You read about it. I work at a community center. I see it on a regular basis. People who are battling addiction, battling inner demons and stuff like that. Putting yourself in the passenger seat for that ride is wild. I can only imagine. I haven't experienced that. I had a father who had his issues growing up with addiction and whatnot. So I know from that perspective, but I'm sure it's more intense when you're, like you said, in the passenger seat, like right there along for the ride. Yeah. I mean, it's the same. It's being a witness to something like that also makes you like analyze your whole life as if you did something, as if you handed them the problem. Yeah. And so, it takes you for a whirlwind. But those are the only 2 things that I wrote that was new. But Tama Brisbane and Paula both were encouraging me. They were like, "Oh, you write? Do something with it." And I was like, "No, but I write like I write." And they're like, "No, just do something with it." And so I had a break from work and the contest was going on, the Chaplik book series. And I was like, well, you know what? All they want is like 30 poems and put it into a format, create a storyline or a flow, create some cover art, turn it in. What's the worst that can happen? They say no. Yeah, they say no, or even like you just don't even get a response. Like that doesn't hurt you any, and it doesn't hurt me any. And I'll be able to finally like digitize it. It goes from composition book to something digital that I can like take to other places. Yeah, you could show off, be proud of. Right, and then they sent me an email and they were like, "You've been selected." I was like, "Oh snap." Now I got to go through with it. So it's about to get real. It was nice. And then they gave us the process of what was going to happen. I know that it's just like a chapbook, but to me, like this little piece of paper, this little piece of wood, that means a lot to you. It means a lot. Like it's my past coming to my future and saying, "You did good, kid. Like you're good." And it's growth and it's materialized. And more than that, it was the kick that I needed. I've always had this idea for a fiction book around Peter Pan. I love Peter Pan stories. Dude, I got a story for you. But I've always had this idea and I kept telling people, I got this great idea. I got this great idea. They were like, so what do you, I got work. I got drag. I got stuff to take care of. Like I've got so much going on. Sitting down in front of a computer and writing is not what I have time for. I did this, got selected. They had us go to like a few like readings. Like we had to go to readings, obligated to. And the one that they put out fully booked. Yeah. And I just read one poem, the one about addiction. And just to have so many people come up to me afterwards. And it wasn't that they tell me that I did a good job. Like that's nice to hear, right? You did a good job. The fact that for some of them, they were like, "You had me choked up. I don't know who you are, but you had me choked up." Or other people saying like, "Your words, I don't know why, but it just feels like I know you. It feels like I resonate with you." And another one, and then Mel Shore. Yeah, he's come here. Like, yeah, he was the first one to be interviewed. That guy does not get enough credit. I bought his book at one of our small business ones and he wasn't even there. I just bought it on a whim, but just like reading through his book, I'm like, this guy's got a mind. It's not for everybody, but the people that read it, they get it. And I think he deserves more credit and I think he should give himself more credit. So shout out Mel Shore.
Oh yeah, he's a cool dude. I met him at the Fully Booked because we were there. Then
you saw me then.
Yeah. Okay. We did the documentary. Me and another guy, Dwayne. We did the documentary that they showed. And so that's the night that I met Melchor. And then since then we've been, because it was Adriana speaking with him that kind of sparked the idea for all this, because she was talking to him and I walked up and she was, they were talking about, the poetry and what he does. And she's just like, oh, it would be great to have you, in for an interview. And she's looking for her phone. She's like, I can't find my phone, looking for her phone. Mom, where's my phone? And then I walk up and I'm like, hey, and I just give him my card. She's like, oh yes, Bones. Yes. Meet Melchor. We want to get him for an interview. And then that turned into, live on air. No, we should do a podcast. No, we should do a 6 series, and then she, wanted to get, a 6 series podcast, 6 episode series podcast going, all from, conversation with Melchor.
No, that's so smart. By the way, good job. Watching that video, I was like, see, this is small film festival type footage.
We do have a film festival coming up here too. Do? Yeah.
Where's it at?
Here.
Oh, here at Delta College?
Yeah.
What's it called?
I'm sure we have a flyer out there. I'm drawing a blank, and that probably doesn't look good. But yeah, next Saturday, not a couple days from now, but next Saturday, and I want to say the Tilly Lewis Theater will be doing a film fest. We had one last year, so this is the second one.
Oh, then I'll have to.
And I'm pretty sure Dwayne, my partner on the documentary, submitted it. But yeah, we'll get the information afterwards here.
Okay, good. No, it was really nice.
Thank you.
But just that experience right there was like, okay, you did good. Like you can do this. And it was just like, I was like, you can do this. And then Paula just telling me like, if you want to do it, do it. Go get an editor, go get a publisher, find somebody in-house, and we'll help you to produce it. Because she was very happy. Like, I always see like Paula as like one of those people that's just like, she gets stuff done. Yeah.
She's a go-getter.
She's a go-getter. And I like that about her because it doesn't need to be like rainbows and pies with her, which is fine, but
she's tough.
She is.
Like, because when we interviewed her for the documentary, there's some stuff that we didn't use because we had to, keep it honed in on, but she was letting us know, like going through growing up, like Vietnam was her war, and all the women's rights that they had at that time and whatnot. Like she had to be a tough girl, and she, like being an army brat, So she's handles her business, gets done. She's tough, but she's super sweet.
No, she's super
caring,
Yeah, and people don't know about her. And then again, having Tama is like, she's not even like the angel or the devil on my shoulder. Tama is just like that thing that just like lives on your back. And having a person like her who every word she utters, I'm just like, I melt. I'm like, this woman should be famous. This woman should be putting out books. But for her to give me a stamp of approval and show up at places where I'm reading and just be the person that like is like, do it, gives me the courage and the empowerment to like continue to the next phase of this. Like I used all the funds from selling this, and it's all in a nice little tucked away savings account to hire an editor for the next book. So everything that came out of this, which was already, again, like
making moves,
is helping to help me create funds for an editor for the real thing, like the thing that I want to do.
It's coming to fruition.
Yeah. You got to make it happen though.
Yeah. So, how did you come across, Paula, or learn about the Tuleburg Press and in the right place?
The first time was at a community event in the park, back when the Pride Center was downtown. And they just wanted like local CBOs to kind of like be around. And so us as an LGBT center, like we were like, yeah, we'll be there. So we tabled, and she was telling me all about the past of Tuleburg. And I was like, oh, cool. Like that sounds really cool. I'd love to get in contact with the person who runs it. And she's like, you're looking at her. And I was like, okay, great. And then she told me about the stuff that they did. The thing that impacted us the most was the fact that a lot of their workshops and a lot of their publishing parts have something to do with mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the Pride Center, a lot of our programming, a lot of our counseling services revolve around like good mental health habits, preventive care and stuff like that. So as a writer, I was like, let me intersect these two things. And so we started asking them to come and bring mini workshops to our youth events.
Oh, cool.
So they would talk about their pieces to pieces workshop. They would talk about like how to do reclaimed stories, and then also how to do like scrapbook stuff and turn them into pressed books.
Yeah.
So that as I just got her more and more coming to us, we referred people over to them. I always make sure that there's like a Tuleburg and the right place flyer at the Pride Center, just so that, again, full circling it.
Yeah.
As a kid who didn't know where to put it, like somebody told me writing's a great place to put it. And so I know that there's still a lot of kids out there that either are transitioning or coming out. They don't know who to talk to or when to talk about it. Writing's a great place to do that. So I always
that kind of helps you. I don't write much at all, to be honest, but I understand, writing it down is going to help you organize your thoughts and kind of not prioritize. That's not the right word, but like kind of put things in,
perspective
and where it needs to be, instead of just having all these thoughts kind of, because like if I don't have music going or something, if I'm like, there's nothing that's distracting me. Like I can have the same thought or the same song lyric or whatever, just loop, repeat, and all that, to where like you write it down and it's like, okay, that's done. That's there. That's the placeholder, on to the next thing or whatever. So I can see how, it'll definitely help you figure things out.
Yeah. And writing also is a great way, especially with poetry. It's a great way to kind of like close the chapter on that thought process. Like if there's something that is stirring and it continues to like haunt your days every day and you just can't get it off your head, write it down. Even if it doesn't make sense, like it doesn't have to make sense to anybody but you. It's a great way to be like, all right, I'm done.
I tend to that. Let's move on.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like when you have a bunch of thoughts, you put them in a file or a doc or whatever, and then you're like, done, click, saved. It's somewhere.
I can, declutter my brain a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, as you get older, you run out of storage up there.
Yeah, definitely. Can you tell us a little bit about your writing routine? Do you have any specific habits?
Yeah.
Or how you go about?
Recently, in the past, I would write first and then take a selection of whatever the theme or the word that stuck out the most to me in the poem, and then I would use that as like, this is the title of the poem. Nowadays, I will just, wherever I am, no matter where I am, if I can think of a title, it can help with the rest of it. So like I was with my friend last week and we were just driving and I just turned to him and I was like, I need you to write me a text message. And he was like, what? And I was like, this. And he goes, that doesn't make any sense. And I was like, it doesn't make sense now. It will make sense when I get to it, but it's on my brain now. So let me just write a title down and then I'll get to the rest of it later. So it's usually nowadays title, thought, whatever it is that I have to write. As I'm learning how to do more fiction writing, I'm creating timelines and creating just like mini backstories for each chapter that I want. And then going from there, I learned this at a workshop. So going from there, I can fill out the details later. All you have to do is get like how you want that chapter to begin and what's the meat of it. And then move on to the next one. Like you don't have to write it. You don't have to write that chapter. You can just give it
some type of outline structure. Yeah.
And eventually you'll fill in the pieces. And then that way, when you look back, you may be thinking about chapter 8, but then something will spark to you. You'd be like, oh, I really need to, if I want this point to be made in chapter 8, I need to go back to chapter 4 and write something for it. So go back, jot down whatever again, and then like keep moving forward. So I find that process helps a lot.
All right. Nice. And what role does poetry like play in your life? how do you see it in like impacting,
It's very cathartic. I use it. I don't go to open mics, which is crazy because in my community, like that's literally one of our staples. Like every LGBT person likes to go to open mics. Not every, but I mean, like it's one of those things that you would assume that, and there are some great open mics in the area. There's definitely a lot more in like Sacramento and Elk Grove where I am usually. But I don't go to them. And so usually I use this for more just like it's a diary or journal, if you will. But that's why I was so nervous putting it out too, is because
you feel vulnerable.
Oh, totally. Because people can see me in drag and they're like, oh, that's great because that's a character. That's whatever. They can see me at work and they're like, oh, great. That's community work. He's doing like for the community and helping people. But I don't tell a lot of people about my personal life. I don't tell them a lot of backstories either. And so when I put this out, I'm like, oh, snap. People are going to now connect pieces in their brain about me from ages this to this. And I already know that they're going to have questions like, why didn't you ever tell me that people used to hit you? Why didn't you ever tell me that, you were this like hurt at that age? Why didn't you ever tell me about your mom and your past? And my mom, like that was a whole other thing. So I was like, well, because it was just for me. But having to go out and do these like conferences, and then I did a book signing. I was just like, I lost nails.
People really see you.
Yeah. And they start to connect the pieces, and more people, especially personal people in my life, just wanted to have more open conversations. So I was like, yeah, we could talk about it.
Yeah. Read my book though.
Read the book first, buy the book, then read the book, and then we'll talk.
Would you like to? Could you share an excerpt, one of your favorites from the book?
Sure. Yeah. Again, the book is called Beautiful Illusions by Jonathan Lopez. Let's see.
And that one was published by
Tuleburg Press for the Chap Library.
Something that, is important or, very meaningful to you. Well, I mean, I'm sure, everything in there is.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The one that I usually like, it's the go around one, is the losing isn't hard to master one.
All right.
And just shout out, it's inspired by another piece by a poet that I found back in like the 90s, honestly, as a kid. We're the same age. It's called, it's inspired by One Art by Emily Bishop. And this is Losing Isn't Hard to Master. Losing isn't hard to master. If you care or want something bad enough, you can and will lose it. We are never promised the tomorrows, only the sorrow. It is cold, it is cruel, it is company. Holding your breath doesn't help, nor does crossing your fingers or wishing. If we love someone enough, why is the proof in letting them go? Can we pretend to make things better? Losing isn't hard to master. It is quick and painless for a moment, but then it is repetitive and heart-wrenching. A little bit of us dies with each goodbye, warm hearts burnt out for a second. We find other things, other people to blame, but they don't lose anything. How can they be the source? The reality is this is the axis making its move. The reality is we may have to cry alone. Losing isn't hard to master. However, within us, we are strong. We must not be afraid of loving thyself. Control of destiny, control of meant to be, manifest me. For in these lessons of life, love and losing, we forget the control of just being happy isn't hard to master either.
I like it.
Thanks.
That's great. You mind if I was trying to kind of hold it up towards the camera there. That was beautiful.
Thanks.
And what would you think is the most challenging aspect of your writing, or whatever one? Sorry, what are some of the most challenging challenges you have faced along your career? There we go.
With writing, one is not being repetitive. going back through like 300 poems really illuminated to me that there are certain words that I like to use. Mm-hmm. There are certain phrases that I like to use. And sometimes there's patterns where I don't see them because at the moment I'm driven by emotion and not by technicality. Mm-hmm. But then I'll go back later and I'll be like, oh, I was doing the same thing. I was saying the same stuff in different ways, but it's the same stuff and the way that I write it. So sometimes I have to tell myself, like, I have to sit back now as an adult and be like, why are we writing it? And what's the drive behind it? Let's figure that out before we put it into words. And then the other thing is just, it's okay to like scrap stuff.
Yeah.
It's okay to get like 4 lines in and be like, nah, this is garbage. Like, just throw it away. Because I think some people are like, no, well, I started it. I got to finish it. I think that's different from people saying like, you started something, now you got to finish something.
Yeah.
But I think individualized pieces, you don't have to, not everything needs to be a poem.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a note.
I get that. And so, how would you decide? Be like, nah, that doesn't need to be anything. Or you just like lose steam on something?
Yeah, honestly, like sometimes I've gotten like 6 lines in and I'm like, I don't feel it anymore. And if I don't feel it, if I could only come up with 6 lines of material, then I'm like, okay, so I don't have something here. What I have is I have a thought. And maybe this will be used as like a thought series later on, so I don't throw it away. But I definitely am like, okay, the feeling's gone. It's like a burp or a fart. Like it's done. But I know if the drive with a thought or emotion is something is attached to me and I can't let it go until I get it out and I can't stop writing, that's when I finish, because it's something that just, it almost like takes over by itself. You know, you kind of lose track of the fact that you're writing all this stuff. You black out.
Yeah, I get that. And so you said that you do the Pride Center and you do readings and whatnot. Like, what are other or various ways that you can engage with the community through your work? I know you do the drag shows and all that and whatnot.
Yeah. Honestly, I love volunteering. I love going and supporting places. I love supporting art. I work in a dance studio. We're small business. So we love connecting with people through dance. I mean, dance is just another way. It's all kind of connected. It's all words and music.
It's all art.
It's all art, and it's all connected in my little world. It's just a way of delivering messages differently. Oh, keep going. So yeah, Pace Dance Company up north. If you want to get dance lessons, come and check it out. People always say like that. What do they say? Oh, music is a universal language, right? Anybody can listen to music, but that dance are the translators. Dancers are translators of music. So
I can see that.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that in the way you kind of have to translate physical expression that corresponds with the lyrics or the words, or not even that, the sounds.
There's something to say about like art where when people see it, hear it, or interact with it, that if people don't know other people, that if it moves them to an emotion, then that art has like, it's just like crossed this invisible threshold that we as people have.
Yeah.
Like that affect us.
Yeah. Like with acting, like if you can have if an actor can play a character that really strikes a chord of emotion one way or the other, then they're doing their job. Like, oh man, I hate this character. Like, then that actor is selling it. They're doing their job. You know, you love these characters because the actor does it so well. That is art. They're really translating, you know. Yeah,
storytelling is powerful, and I think it's the best. It's the thing in the human experience that some people are gifted with, and some people are there to receive the gift. Mm-hmm. And I think we need each other in order to like balance all this crap out.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of lose my place sometimes because, in the conversation, we'll kind of touch on different questions that I have, later down the line and whatnot. How do you stay motivated and to continue to find inspiration to create?
The world's crazy. The world's crazy. There's enough said there. It's just know that, again, if I feel like I've done a good job, and people want to hear more or they want to see more, sometimes that's enough motivation to be like, you know what, I can do it. I can continue to do this. And sometimes, that's the encouragement that you need to put the pen back in your hand and do it again.
Yeah, definitely. How do you see the role of art and creation, building and sustaining a thriving community?
It's hard. Arts communities are not oft celebrated, especially in certain cities. I don't know if Stockton is a thriving arts community. I wish it was.
I feel like we're getting there. I feel like I feel like the 90s, the early 2000s or whatever, I feel like art was kind of stagnant, or at least in Modesto, I feel like, or maybe I wasn't as involved in it yet, but I feel like within the last 5-10 years or so, I feel like it's been
there's been a shift.
Yeah, it's been getting restoked and whatnot.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping for that because, we live in a fast food, community of expression. People are in your face for, 45 to a minute and a half seconds on Instagram or TikTok and stuff like that. And the problem with that is how do you convey, music, art, dance, poetry to people who have very short attention spans?
That's true.
And so, but I still feel like there are people out there and there are groups and there are people who are willing to learn. And I think that all we need to do is we need to continue to encourage those people. You don't have to go the TikTok route. And I say TikTok as in you don't have to whittle your art and expression down. There are still people out there that want to hear long form stuff. There are still people that want to hear 5-minute songs.
That don't have that short attention span, that aren't looking for just that instant gratification.
Yeah. Best example, Adele. Doesn't dance, doesn't have backup dancers, doesn't have theatrics or whatever. I went to go see her this year. So,
okay.
Yeah. And all she does is she keeps putting out these albums. They don't have bangers on them. They don't stray far from everything like that. And she does these 6-minute long songs in a 2.5 minute world that we live in of music now. And yet her albums always come out as number one. They're always topping the charts. She is rich. She's got residencies. She has no worries in the world. She's put out 5 albums in 10-ish years. And people are like, how does she keep doing it? What's the sauce? And it's there are still people out there in their 30s, 40s, 50s, that still will listen, still will care about people who put time and effort and quality into their work. So that's how she's number one.
And how has Tuleburg supported and nurtured your career, your creative career? I know they published this book here for you. What else? And what other impacts have they had?
Again, just conversations with Paula. I'm inspired by the workshops that they do. I'm inspired that they keep putting these workshops out for kids and youth and even adults to go and put together something or to heal. So I'm inspired by that. But also on top of that, just talking with Paula, she's when you're ready and you want to put that next book out, let's talk when you're ready. And so is supporting me is basically saying do the work and we'll be here on the other side when you're ready to put it into motion.
Do you have any memorable experiences that you can think of to share with working with Paula and everybody at Tuleburg?
This is going to sound bad. I admire hardworking people. Mm-hmm. I admire people who just are straight from the hip and cut to the chase. And I feel like working with Paula in any effort, like whether she was there as a vendor, whether she was putting on a workshop, whether it was me just going to visit the right place, she always puts out on the front, like, we need more people. Like, we need people to recognize these programs, or we need them to whatever. But she says it in such a way that it's just like, you feel almost like, okay, yeah, I'll go get them. Like, yes. But just like my experiences with her and the work that she does, which is the work of, everything that they do at the right place, is there's a command, there's like a task, there's like a go do it. She's like, I can't do this S word for free. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, no, I totally get it. Working in a nonprofit, it's literally in the words, nonprofit, no money. Yeah. So I just love that no matter who you are, it doesn't matter who you are. Every time I visited there or with her, she always puts like that stamp on there, like, let's get to work. Like, I don't have time to be messing around. And so I'm just like, when people
driven,
they're like, oh, I'm going to go to the right place. I'm going to go visit this person named Paula. I'm like, well, just hold strong.
And what ways do you think art? Oh, my camera's overheating. Awesome. In what ways do you think art contributes to societal well-being?
Oh, I mean, we were just talking about it. Movies, music. They have the power to balance people out. They have power to make people self-reflect. I mean, I know I've watched movies and I've heard songs that have changed my attitude for the day, that have made me think like, I should probably change this, or this. So I think art is the tool that's going to help us to make us look in and change some stuff about ourselves, or to keep going with what we're doing. Yeah.
What impact do you hope to have on anybody that reads your book, reads your work, or comes to see you at any of your shows?
For my drag shows, I just hope that I put a smile on people's face. Like, they're there because they're done with work. They're exhausted. They just want to relax with a drink in their hand, a dollar bill in their other hand, and a song in their heart. And I just want to entertain them. I'm there. That's what I'm there to do. I'm there to do a job. My job is to put a smile on people's face, whether it's with comedy or with their favorite song, just so they can like escape. With writing, I hope that I get somebody to say, I relate. And because I don't use anything specific, I had to create like a flow for this book, but it's over a span of like 5 years with like 6 different boyfriends. I know this makes me sound promiscuous, but it's I hope that people read it and they follow like a story, and that at the end of that story, they're like, I'm going to be okay. Like, I'm going to be good. This guy's good. I'm going to be okay.
I like that perspective.
Yeah.
Like, he made it. I can do it too.
Yeah.
That's a good head on your shoulders you got there, John.
Thanks. I mean, I have 2 chiropractors, so I hope I'm good.
Do you have any advice to any aspiring writers who are also interested in getting published?
Put love into what you do. Don't do it just because you think you need to do it or you need to be published. Don't go in with the idea that if you do it, that somebody is going to be like, yes, you did it, so now let me publish it for you. Like, you need to put your foot, your heart, your soul into it. And when you feel like you've done it to the point where it doesn't matter if somebody does publish it or not, you're good to go. Yeah. Be real with yourself.
And what about advice to anybody who may be interested in getting into drag?
Don't. I say that as a joke all the time. If somebody wants to get into drag, what is drag? Drag is dressing up to make yourself feel a little bit more empowered that day. It's not, I mean, some people use it as a kind of like gateway to transition, which is great. I think it motivates you to feel like your authentic self. For me, I don't identify that way.
It's just something fun to do.
It's just something fun to do. I'm good at it. And I think if you want to get into drag, practice. Go watch tutorials. Don't buy expensive makeup. Buy the cheap crap for the first 2 years of your drag life, unless you are like a sellout, like not sellout, like unless you're like selling out like spaces. Do not go and get custom stuff. Do not buy the expensive stuff. Use the cheap stuff. It will humble you, but it'll also teach you about drag. I think that there's too many people out there that want to do drag that are just like, oh, if I slap on a good face and I slap on a skimpy outfit, that people are just going to pay me. It's like, it doesn't work that way. You have to, what's the word? You have to earn your spot. You know?
Well, you can't, you just can't just think, you dress up, do the makeup, you got to actually bring something to the table, I assume.
Yes. And sometimes, honestly, like, I wasn't always given the opportunity, and people are like, you know, no one's going to give you a seat at the table. Fine. Go be the table.
And do you have any advice? What advice would you give for anybody? Because you said you run or work at the Pride Center.
Yeah, work at
anybody that, you know, is questioning, exploring, you know, might need anybody to talk to. Do you have any advice in that realm?
First off, go to the Pride Center. We have lots of resources, counseling, and people there that care. We do the work because we know what it's like. And then also on top of that, like, we're there to make it so that your experience is easier. And you can always be a supportive ally too. I always encourage people to go to the Pride Center just to learn. Like, you don't have to be a part of the LGBT community, but you can
educate yourself.
4 in 10 people you're going to meet on a daily basis are going to identify somewhere on the spectrum. 4 in 10. That's a big number. But my advice is go to the Pride Center, and then don't be afraid to find a person to like talk to. If you can't write it down or you don't have that ability, just find a safe space. And a safe space does not have to be a room. A safe space can be like a person.
Yeah, and, definitely.
You know, use them, talk to them.
Yeah, because I mean, I know there's, you know, a lot of, I mean, not like we're that old. I mean, we're still kind of older, because nowadays, you know, the awareness to everybody that's either, you know, gay, straight, pan, transitioning, you know, all that wasn't all there when we were younger, let alone, you know, when our older siblings, if you have any, or our parents, you know. So there's definitely a lot more awareness, a lot more
access to resources.
Resources. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, there's a lot more resources now to help people get out of, you know, their tormented minds that, you know, we didn't necessarily have 15, 20 years ago. So definitely utilize that, you know, come to the Pride Center, you know, if you need someone to talk to, or just want to get out of your head.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll sit down and I will buy you a cup of coffee, and we'll sit across the table and talk to each other. Like, whatever you need, we are there for. But more than that, like you said, there's so much more availability for this kind of stuff. And that's why we do the work, is so that people who don't know, they know.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be, how would I say it? Like a orientation or a preference thing. It could be any mental health issues. You know, you got anxiety or this, that, or the other. You know, there's a lot of things. So don't think you have to be in the LGBTQ plus community to come to the Pride Center to, you know, look for someone to express yourself or to chat with, or to, you know, help, you know, get things off your mind. So if you got anything going on, you know, I'm sure you can come see John or someone.
You should come work at the Pride Center.
Me?
Yeah, you're a great spokesperson.
Thank you. What I like to do is at the end here, if you want to look at this camera here, this one's you, and leave our listeners or viewer with one word or phrase.
Well, I think you already know what I'm saying.
That Italian one?
Yes.
I forgot how you say it.
All right. This is my word. Attraversiamo. It's the perfect word to say with the ahs, the ts, the r's, the ah, o. It's a great blend of sounds, but it means to cross over. So whatever you got going on, figure out a way to cross over.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to the Right Vibes Tales from Tuleburg Press. That wraps up another episode here on K.W.D.C 93.5 Stockton, brought to you by the Fierce Mustang Media Group. I hope today's episode brought you a fresh perspective, fresh and a dose of inspiration from Jonathan Lopez. Keep supporting local artists and be sure to join us again next time for more artistic journeys and stories from different Tuleburg Press creatives. Brought to you by the Fierce Mustang Media Booth. Again, brought to you by the Fierce Mustang Media Group. I am Bones out the booth.
Good job.
That book for sale? I would like to buy that.
It is. I would like to give you a copy.
Stuck on the floor. Where's my pen? Oh, what can
So it's probably $10.
Here, if you wouldn't mind signing.
You want to put Bones in the booth?
Sure. Support